Hey y'all, it's me, Rodney at Rustic Relics, and
It's me, Missy, with Rustic Relics. And it's our Friday Live, yay! And we're gonna
Friday Night Live,
Friday Day Live.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
Hey Tina, hey Susie, hey Margie.
Hi everybody.
There's some confusion. I thought I had this scheduled. Turns out I didn't. So when I went to go to the schedule and launch the stream, it was like, there's no stream for you to launch, buddy. So then I had to rush through and change things and get it going. So that was my fault on the scheduling issue. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Kathy. So Missy, you want to tell us what we're doing today?
Today we're painting furniture. So this is one of those pieces that I got out of the estate sale, and it needed it's not perfect condition, but I went ahead and primed it up. I used the bonding boss to seal it up because I could tell it was definitely going to be a bleeder no matter what. So we cleaned it up, sanded it up, did some repairs or whatever, and now we're just ready for a paint job. And I'm kind of excited about this one because I'm going to be using those stamps and some decoupage paper. So I think this one's going to be fun. But do you want me to show the decoupage of the month papers first?
Yeah, sure. That would be awesome.
Okay, so you want me to go this camera?
Yeah, that main camera there.
So you tell me when I'm good.
You're good right there.
All right, so these are the decoupage of the month papers that will be coming out in June, right?
Yep.
So they're very summer and fruit themed. These are strawberries. And these are blackberries. Then you got some lemon and limes. And then we also included with these some backgrounds. So if you wanted to do some layering and stuff like that, these backgrounds look really good with the fruits.
I was trying to go with that Smucker's Jelly label look.
So you get this background, this blue and white striped background, and you'll also get a green and white kind of striped background. So you'll be able to layer up these if you were wanting to, like for block sitters or anything that you were just trying to put them on, any kind of home decor or anything like that. So you actually get, this month you actually get
6 papers.
6 papers
Yep.
compared to the 5. So you get 3 backgrounds and then 3 images with the fruits and stuff like that.
Missy will do a video next week.
Yeah, I have some ideas with these, so I'm excited to use some of these on some small projects and stuff like that. So we'll definitely be playing with these.
Those have by far been the hardest for me to do.
So super excited, but yeah, these come out June, so you'll be receiving these papers in June. Fun stuff.
Because I originally, when I did the limes, I essentially drew a lemon and made it green. And then when I was looking at real limes, I realized, oh no, they're not the same shape.
Not the same shape.
So then I had to redraw the limes. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was fun. Okay, so like I said, on this table, it's just a little single table. I don't have a match to it or anything, so... But I do think this would be a fun piece to do something fun with. I already primed it up with bonding boss, and then it's just sat here for 2 days, basically. And the color that I'm going with today is sandbar, so that way it's a neutral color. And then I do want to decoupage the drawer image right here, and I do want to put a stamp on the sides of these nightstands. So if you were to use it as a little table, a side table for a accent chair or even a side table or whatever at a bed, the one side, even though you're covering one side, the other side will be pretty. Either which way, that's what we're going for today. So let's do the fun stuff for me. I kind of just went over this after it was primed up with the bonding boss. I just went ahead and went over it with just a sanding sponge, just to make it smooth or anything like that, so that way it's ready to go. And then I took my cloth and dusted it back off. So I'm just going to use sanding bar. This already has a coat of sanding bar on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put my second coat on it, and then we'll flip it. Sandbar. Yeah. On it, and then we'll flip it just in case I'm not able to get to both sides today. but you should be able to.
Yeah, you should be able to get it by the sides.
I should be able to. We'll see. We'll see. So this is the paintbrush that I started with, and it's just lightly wet.
Kat says she's sorry she's late. YouTube didn't show her the live for some reason. No, Kat, that was my fault. I didn't schedule the live in advance. I thought I did. So when I tried to go in and do it, it made me start I had to do it a different way. But we were able to get it done. I'm trying to get my head out of the way. There we go.
So like I said, this would be my second coat on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and get my second coat on it. So that way when I get ready to stamp, this side will be dry. And we'll just go ahead. So that way you can at least see this side done. Second coat goes over really easy, especially with a little bit of water. And it really does show you what it's really going to look like once you get... A second coat is my favorite. That's what I'm trying to say, because it really does show you what it's going to look like all finished up.
Yeah, that's when all the plans start coming together.
That's what I like about it. I always enjoy second coats.
Kat said the customer just came in the store talking about your furniture painting palette there.
Aww. That's sweet.
What's that noise?
It's my iron, because where I want to decoupage at, I went ahead and started ironing my paper. So that's what that is. This is my iron telling me.
Oh yeah, because the creases, because it's the fiber.
The fiber paper. So it's just important to iron or steam, whatever you have. Make sure you do that really good before you go to decoupage it. One of the biggest things is how I do it is with the iron. Because I have a steamer, I just don't have, it's at the store. What I do is I take my continuous mister and I mist the paper and get it nice and, wet, but not soaking wet, but wet. And then I just take parchment paper and I just iron it on.
Kat asked if we've showed off our new decoupage papers.
That's what we did.
Yes, that's the first thing we did. Yeah. And we'll do it again later.
So do you want to go right here? Or
yeah, I'll do it from the front. You want me to do that?
Yeah, that'd be easier instead of me trying to move it. So I'm just gonna get for the drawer. The sandbar is not that dark of a color, so I feel like decoupage, the paper that I'm wanting to use on this drawer front is gonna be fine to go on top of sandbar. It's light enough that my image that is on that paper will show through, but it doesn't have to be white, so we're just going to make sure that we get... This
works while it's plugged in to the thing. So I was able to zoom that camera in. That's so awesome, guys. I just learned something new. I would have never thought this would have worked.
I'm going to try to get this.
So, yeah. We're going to enhance this stream now.
Oh, boy. I can grab that.
With zoomed in footage. With the main camera.
Let me just... I'm going to take that out. There we go.
She broke it.
I didn't break it. It's just let me set that out.
It's okay. Even if it did break, I'll fix it. Because it's just a metal track, right?
It's not. It's wood. It wasn't. It was probably something that was on that drawer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably from where we flipped it over.
Getting this on here.
So hopefully everybody's week has gone pretty good. I know Kat's excited because Saturday's almost here.
Saturday is their day to work.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's their last day. Saturday's their Friday this week.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Tina said, "You're getting so good at directing the show, Rodney." Thank you, Tina. I was just complaining earlier. I was like, I wish I had more cameras so we could set up more webcams and get way better angles. And then Missy's like, I wish we had a studio.
Yeah, a studio would be nice.
Kat said, yes, Saturday is a short day.
Saturday
See,
is.
I knew Kat knew what I was talking about.
I was like, don't you tell them girls they're off tomorrow.
That 1 hour makes a difference. She's
It does.
Right.
It does.
Especially on Saturdays. We're so busy on Saturday.
By the time you get to 5 o'clock, you're like, yeah.
Because I know we were busy last Saturday. Really busy. Oh, guys, while Missy's doing that, well, she's just painting. I'm going to show you guys something. This is spongeware.
Oh,
This is from the 1800s. I would have never thought it. But like, there's little marks in it and stuff, like little imperfections. I mean, look at that. And it survived. Missy's like, what do I do with this? I'm thinking I'm going to keep it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what you do with it either, because it is flawed. It has some cracks in it. But yeah.
I don't know how to sell it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So it's a different type of glazing than what we're used to seeing. It's called salt glazing. So it's really shiny, but it's really bumpy, like orange. It looks like an orange's peel. Mm-hmm. The texture does. Karen said, I love that. That's beautiful.
It's really cool. And I just don't know how to, I don't know how to sell it. And I don't know how to identify it with anything, like just based off what I see off the internet in this kind of way.
Yeah, because like none of the old stuff like that has identifications. Pretty much the only way to tell is how they joined the handles or how they fixed seams in it. Like there's a seam back here. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what gives it away. Or how they molded these two, the seam right across the front together. You can see the finger indentions in it from where they molded it in. It's really cool. It's really, really cool, and I'm really nervous with it. I feel like it's delicate or whatever because like I wasn't. It feels different. It doesn't feel like a regular pottery. If y'all notice, I never held it by the handle because I'm so worried that I'm going to break it. There's some like cracks and stuff in it that you just don't know how it's going to hold up. And it's pitted from where it was fired, and they didn't have it totally. There was like voids. That's another thing. So since there's voids with what looks like something that they added to the clay, it's so crazy. I don't know how to describe it. I don't either. It's really cool. I would like to. We have a customer that comes in that is. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to pottery and that kind of stuff. It's something that he's always dealt with in his whole life. I would be curious to show it to him and just see what his thoughts on it were. I think that's kind of what I'm waiting for to see before I do anything with it. Just see where. Karen, I will step over and email you that link right now. That was one of the things from last week's live that I was wondering about. I'm going to change it over to this camera, Missy, and I'm going to step over there. Yeah, go ahead. And then get that done real quick because Karen didn't get her video link. Oh, shucks. So I'm just going to get a coat of paint on the top. I should have sent it with a QR code to make it faster. And yeah, I'm trying to go with the grain of the wood. You can kind of see it, or I can see it from this angle because of the way the light is hitting it. So I'm just trying to paint it in the grain of the wood. So even though I have the primer on it, I can still see where it is. And yep, failed to send. So yeah. I'm liking this color. I think it's a very good color for it. It's neutral enough that I think it could go with anything. And then when we do the stamps, I
I just want to, I'm going to use caviar on the stamps, so that way it will stand out and pop, but not contrast on the...
All right, got it.
You got it? So I'm just going
Karen said there's no rush. Thanks, Rodney. Oh, it's always a rush when you didn't get your video link. That's for sure. Carol said, why did you spray with water first?
It helps thin the paint out because Dixie Belle chalk paint is very thick. So instead of like misting my brush or anything like that or watering down the paint, I just like to mist the furniture. So that way when I come in with my paint, it spreads evenly. So that way it will self-level out and you won't have brush strokes, or you'll have minimum brush strokes. You know, depending on how you paint, depends on how you will, how much brush strokes you have. But it helps because it is self-leveling, so the water will help.
Then it keeps you from wasting chalk paint.
Yeah, because this is really thick. It's really thick. And it will go a long way as long as you're using water with it. If you don't use water, then you'll go through a lot of paint, and it'll make it. You'll have so much paint on your furniture that it's not really necessary.
Tracy said, hi, everyone. Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Carol said it's a great color. Karen says she got the link. And
good deal.
Tracy said, I love that color.
I like sandbar. It's very neutral, but I think it's going to look really good with the decoupage paper that I'm wanting to put on the drawer. And I think it's going to look really good with the black stamps that we're going to put on there.
And Carol just said, awesome tip. Thanks.
Yes.
About the water.
So this side has one coat and this side has two coats. So I'm going to hit this side with my heat gun because this side is the one that I'm going to want to.
All right, I'm switching to
I'm just going to
front cam.
Go ahead and dry it.
Hush, Cambone. We'll see if we have a studio, then we won't have Cammy to bark every time you turn on the...
That's right.
That's pure entertainment right there. You know what I should do is put get another webcam, right? Not like one like this, not like the one on my computer, and then have call it the Cammy Cam, and then we can have it over on the side when she runs across, so they can check it every time she runs across. They can see her as she's viciously going to come over and defend you from that heat gun. And that is what we call Cammy Cam. Kat said Cammy watch. Yeah, that's what they could do. It would be the call, watch for Cammy. Now everybody's doing laughing faces. It's so funny.
Okay, so if you are doing this at home, I highly recommend you letting it air dry because that's going to help with your self-leveling. When you're forcing it to dry, you're not giving the paint enough time to self-level. So I'm just wanting to hit it with a heat gun just to make sure that I can show you this. But at home, put your paint on, walk away for about 30 minutes, come back, and it'll be dry. And it will be it'll be good to go. So I'm just letting it cool off from where I hit it with the heat gun. I'm just wanting to make sure that I have it all the way dry because I'm going to take my Stampin' Block. So this is kind of what I got in mind. I wish I had I don't have the paper, but on my Tuesday live this week, on the Tuesday live, I used the stamps, the butterfly stamps, and I really like them. So I thought that this table would be cute, and I have this lined up on my acrylic block, and I'm thinking I just want to stamp them right here. That's my goal. So I want to do that. I was going back and forth between caviar and coffee bean, but I think I'm just going to go with caviar. And then I want to stamp it here.
The caviar is a good color.
I think caviar
black
because
contrasts against sandbar really well.
I think that's what I was thinking. That's why I was wondering if you thought so too, because this paper that I'm wanting to put on the front drawer. So this is another tissue paper pack. It's called Enchanted Romance, and it comes with, again, this is a
Enchanted Romance
yeah,
isn't uploaded yet.
Okay.
Because it's new.
It's new. All right, it comes with 3 papers. So this is the one that I'm wanting to use on the drawer front. But it also, I'm going to set it back over here so I can keep it from being wrinkled up where I ironed it out. It also comes with this paper.
Which I like this one.
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks like, I'm not going to put that on there. It looks like wine corks. Can you see it good? Am I holding it up good?
Let me zoom out some. Yeah, there you go.
It looks like wine corks, so I think that this paper is really cool.
I wish we had a piece of post. Maybe we should get a piece of poster board when we're showing these off so they look a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Because here they look kind of washed
And then it
out.
comes with this one too.
I like that one as well.
So I thought that one was pretty, and I can hold it up against this. So
It's got the Fleur de Lis on it. Carol said that paper is so pretty.
Yeah, that's the wine corks. It says France and stuff like that on it. So both are really cool. So it comes with 3. It comes with these 2 and then the one that we're going to use today. So I want to put this one on the drawer front, but I want to stamp this side first. So what I'm going to do is...
Every time I see those papers, those large papers like that, I can't wait to get a 24-inch printer.
I know.
Because guys, you should see some of the designs that I've actually done that won't fit on a letter size paper or legal.
I'm just gonna grab a piece.
Karen said I love all the papers. Missy does too.
Me too. So what I'm gonna do is clear this out.
I'm going to show you stamping from both angles at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be zoomed in on that one.
And I'm going to use this,
front view.
what I'm going to do is use this wax paper right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of Dixie Belle's Caviar on it, so that way I can use my stamp on that. So I kind of want my stamp here. So yeah, if I can just do that and then ink it up, yeah. That's what we'll do. So I need a bigger work table too, but I don't want to risk it. So I'm just going to, the way I kind of do it is I just take the paint that I'm wanting to use to stamp, and I just spread it on the wax paper.
Susie said I've never been to Paris, but it is my jam.
Ooh.
But Paris is my jam, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
There I go again, messing up the words. I'm bad about that.
Just make sure that I get enough of the black paint on here.
How do you know when you got enough black paint?
Well, I can't see the wax paper, so I can't see through it. But it just, I'm trying to make sure that I get it big enough that I can just do one. Just take my stamping block and go down, so.
And the key with this with paint is to go straight down onto the paint.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that I have it, yeah.
No funky angles.
So I'm just going to set this to the side. And hopefully not mess that one up.
Everybody's wondering what all that stuff on the counter behind you is. Hand sanitizer, paint.
I'm trying to make sure that I get it lined up. Okay, yeah.
Measuring tools.
Yeah, everything. So I'm just going to set my block down. And I'm just going to put pressure where my stamps are. to make sure that my stamps pick up the ink. And then what I am going to do is make sure that I get it off my acrylic block, make sure that it is all over my stamps. So that way I don't get this chalk paint onto that. I'm just going to go back down. Let me do.
Maybe if we brush them, can you brush it directly on the thing? But then it might be too heavy.
Yeah, I don't want it to
Tina Adams said, "Good morning." Good morning, Tina.
Good morning. I'm going to take it back up and just make sure I think I got it. Which, I mean, you can. Oh. Just want to make sure that those words get it.
Well, even the body of that middle one doesn't look like it got. Let me switch to a different camera. See if I can see what you're doing.
Just going over
Yeah, there
the
we
way.
go. So this might be a better technique than wasting all that paint on the.
Well, I mean, it's not. It picks it up.
Or maybe a harder board instead of that. That might work better.
I'm just trying to make sure that it gets.
Because one, every time you pick up on the paper, it pulls it up, and that's why the paper's touching the paint's touching your block. So I think that is a thing.
Try not to let it dry. Oh, and then all that. Let's see. One thing. Just trying to keep it wet. Trying to make sure none of that is wet. But if I have to.
Okay, let me change scenes. There we go.
All right. My hand slipped on it.
I saw that.
Yeah, I felt it too. You know what would be easier?
Getting more paint on your stamp so that.
No, what would be more easier is if this was laying down and I was going down and not sideways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay it down. I'm just going to lay it down.
Kat says she just realized she was holding her breath.
Yes, I was too.
Well, it's chalk paint, so it just wipes right off.
Paint.
With a little bit of water.
That's right.
Kathy said, "Why aren't you just going to lay it down?"
That's yeah. That's what I'm fixing to do. Fixing to lay this sucker
Sometimes
down.
we don't think, Kathy.
I'm like, why am I holding it from the side? Let's do this an easier way. Let's be smarter. So, okay, I'm going to lay this down like this, but I don't know how well you can see it. And then I'm just going to go back over it with the sandbar where I just wiped off. And then I'll hit this with a heat gun just to get it dried again before we go back through and re-stamp it.
There.
There.
Now it can be seen.
All right. I'm going to dry it real quick.
I was holding my breath too because, you know, the last stamping didn't go so well either. Stamping with paint is always kind of difficult. Yeah, like Susie said, with your handle in the middle, you might not be getting enough pressure.
Especially going from the side.
And if it's like when you're removing screws, you know, where you're just not strong enough to keep it from moving.
Yeah.
Because that can be frustrating.
Okay.
But on the other counter. Margie said she saw that look.
Let me wipe this off.
Missy's got an impressible.
A what?
Karen said you need an impressible for May May. Missy's got one.
I do have an impressible. Where is that at?
It's at the store.
No,
With
I think
the Stanley
it's
bags.
here. I think it's actually here. It might be here. Let me hold this over the sink.
Yeah, she's got an impressible, a Misty, what else? A whole ton of May May stamps.
Yeah.
Susie said, I thought that too.
That could
Tina
be.
said, why don't you just use your hand to press down above the handles
That's what I think I'm going to
instead
do.
of using the handle?
Just trying to make sure I get this all cleaned out. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, just brush the paint directly on it so you get enough.
That is what I'm going to do.
Then the real trick will be keeping it from smudging.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, so you could also just stamp on rice paper, then decoupage the paper on the sides.
Smart, actually. Yeah.
At the store, I got all that plain white tissue paper too that we stuff in bags. You could do that, and it will become transparent.
Just going over the top of it. I'm not.
Kathy said she would get a small block and stamp one at a time.
How about that too? Just not overloading my brush too heavy. And you know what? It might be that I do need my paint to be thicker. Because with the script, I never have a problem with the script or anything like that. I guess it would be the butterflies that are throwing. It could be just be the butterflies that are throwing me off. Because with the script, I've always been able to do it that way.
Well, your test stamps went fine. So it's something, right? I can't.
Well, I'm
Get the
just
cameras
painting
to be
it.
able to
Yeah,
see you paint
I'm
that.
just painting over it. I'm going to test this before I actually stamp it onto this piece of furniture. And if that doesn't work, if it doesn't come out how I want it to, then I'm going to do the one at a time.
Well, also, the paint's also getting a little bit of time to dry, too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking about, too. By the time I get to...
The process isn't fast enough.
By the time I get to this butterfly, my first butterfly... Let's see. Give me a piece of paper. Watch me not have a piece of paper. just paper, so I'm not worried about that. So it needs to be
more paint and faster.
Well, yeah, I need to only do so many butterflies at a time in order to get it to do. Because like this butterfly, that's what I think. This one is too, but it's still workable. I'm going to take these butterflies off, right? And I'll do 3 butterflies at a time.
Karen said missing the stamps before you try. Lightly before you stamp might actually help.
It definitely might.
Crafting with Indiana Jones said, "Oh, cool! Get to see you live." Happy Friday. That's right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So I'm gonna go like that, and I'm going to clean this part up where I got it. And I'm gonna push it down to make sure that it's all the way. Cammy, it's just me. It's just me, Cammy. Okay. Cammy, it's just me. I'm just gonna paint these 3 first. And then I'm going to do what Karen said and kind of mist it from a distance, I think. And then try it again.
They can miss the furniture too.
But I don't want the ink to run on the stamp. Oh, that's true. Okay. I don't want the ink to run on the stamp. Like I barely. Okay. So, well, I'm working backwards. It still works. And that one fell down. So it is where it's going to be. You know what? You give me a minute. And I bet you I do have my impressible. Well, it probably is at the store.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was in there.
It's under the counter with the Misty.
So I'm just going to put pressure on the stamps, but not move them.
Margie said, I had to step away a few minutes. Hope I didn't miss anything. No, you didn't
No,
miss
you didn't
anything.
miss anything. That's what I just did, is stepped away. Oh, now my paper, might have pressed it. Yeah,
yeah, that's not really made to do that.
With that one, that's what I was scared of spraying it with.
So spraying it didn't work.
Well, I mean, it did, but it made it bleed a little bit.
See, I'm looking at your other stamp. What I'm seeing is there's not much paint load left, but the stamp wasn't good on the thing. So I'm thinking it's going to be paint load. Just not enough paint going on the stamp. Paint's not like ink. You could, if you'd have put ink on it, you'd have inked it and it'd have been fine. Paint's different because it spreads around and moves. It's a little bit thicker. So you need the paint to actually be on the stamps for you to get a good stamp.
I'm trying to decide if I want to take this off.
Well, I guess third time's going to be a charm, hopefully. Yeah, that ended up decoupaging the side.
I tell you what, this paint right here is going to be super smooth by the time it's over with. The way I've like wetted it down and I can tell you I can use ink. I just would wait for it to seal up.
Carol, yes, you can use ink.
Yeah, I can use ink.
You have to wait for the paint to
You just wait for it
cure.
to seal up. Yeah, you wait for the ink to dry all the way. And then
Kathy says, sorry that you're having trouble with the process, but they're learning along with you on this one.
yeah. Where's my ink at? So, VersaFine is what the ink that I have. So, give me a second. We'll let this dry. Let me wash these stamps that I have used the paint on. And we'll do it this way. So, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
1, 2.
Literally.
Susie says she likes the rice paper idea.
It's a smart idea. I don't have any of the, like the tissue paper, white tissue paper. I don't have any white tissue paper here.
Tina said, just thinking, do one stamp at a time, maybe?
There's that too.
But if you're looking to create the same exact pattern, then that's what the block
I mean,
is.
that's
why Redesign with Prima designed these furniture stamps to go on that block, is for you to be able to keep it continuous, one design to the next design. So we just need to troubleshoot what's going on with the paint. Because, yeah, after this video's done, we're gonna be stamping some stuff to figure out exactly what the problem with the paint is and why it's not loading onto the stamps properly.
I think if I had a roller and I rolled the paint on there, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, like a print shop does.
Like, yeah.
Print shops that use stamps, that's what they do. They roll the paint on there.
That would be helpful
a speedball roller.
Roll it. I do want these to dry. I do want this to put over so I can work.
Can you use these other butterflies over here instead?
Yeah, but I want some of these big ones that are on this one. Like, I can switch them up. That's not a problem. I really do want to use the paint.
Then use a foam brush to apply your paint on there with.
I have to find one. I think I might have a foam brush available. Because that's her.
Susie said, I like having butterflies going different directions. One to the left and one to the right.
Oh, yeah. Make them look like they're flying. He's cute. That's how I'd like it to go. Like that. So if I foam brush the chalk paint on there, that's what you think? Do I have a foam brush?
I mean, I don't know. That's just an idea.
What are the chances that I can use this with the chalk paint and pounce it on the paint onto the?
I don't know. It might work.
It might work. It might work. We'll find out.
Oh, you're not going to put them on the block? Well, yeah, you're most definitely getting a heavier ink pattern now. Money says this one stamps just fine. And that was faster instead of brushing it.
The problem is I still get ink. I mean, I still get paint where I don't need it to go.
If it's on the inside, it won't matter because it won't be able to stamp down. Indiana Jones said, "It is hard to craft live. Anything can happen, and with decor, you never know."
That's what I was thinking.
Did it stamp fine?
Yeah. That's how I'm going to go with it.
Well, then try it on the block this time. Take your block and get all the stamps off of it, the ones that are currently there. That way you keep the same pattern on both sides. And that thing did make it go faster. Because if you get a little paint on your block, it's so the stamp is gonna keep the paint from getting on the surface of what you're doing. Right?
Right. And the thing about it is that if there is extra black paint where like I don't necessarily want it to be, I mean I can touch it up with the sandbar.
But why would there be if it's just getting applied?
Just in case if I accidentally got it to where, you know, and it touched. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, those are turning out fine. You should be able to apply it to that block and make it do that now.
Okay, so this
it's
is
paint load.
This is I got this from my mace.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what it's called, but
They're called paper pouncers.
something, yeah.
That's what they're called. Paper pouncers. Margie said, with my ADHD, I would have given up 2 tries ago.
I don't want to give up because I know I can do it. Sometimes it's just finding the right way to do it.
The right technique.
The right way. The good thing about butterflies is that if you are not going straight, it's okay because they're just flying anyways.
Susie said you're very patient and determined.
Like, I had a vision for it. I really did, and I really do want to make it happen. And the thing about it is it's just chalk paint, so it's okay. It's okay if it messes up, because you can fix it with water, sandpaper, another coat of paint. It's all fixable. That's kind of why I like going with the paint over ink for this purpose, is because if it doesn't turn out, you can immediately get it back off. Now they do make ink for these stamps and stuff like that with Prima. I just haven't really...
Oh yeah, the furniture inks.
Yeah, I've never really used it, and maybe I should. So maybe so. Maybe that is my problem. But sometimes I just like using what I have on hand without having to do
Buy extra stuff.
products. Yeah, so I'm like, I know that chalk paint will do what I want it to do. So I really want to use what I already have without having to go through a whole nother product line.
The thing is we know that this happens because you've been using the 12 by 12 stamps before, the solid pieces with the script, and it worked just fine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I've never really had a problem with it before. That I think that the butterflies, and maybe it's just because they are so detailed, you know? Maybe that is what is different for me. Because I've used that script stamp, I can't even tell you how many times. No. And the chickens and the rooster, all of my IOD
You know why?
stamps.
Because you used that 1-inch fine brush. When you were doing the stamping with the scripts and the chickens and all that stuff, you were using the Bell brush, which is a better loading paintbrush. So you're taking a heavier load of paint and applying it to the stencil. To the stamp. That's what the difference is. The brushes make a difference. Kind of like this paper pouncer is making such a big difference. The paper pouncer reminds me of the way they apply the designs on plates and bowls at manufacturers, where they have that big blobby thing that comes down and gets it. That's what it reminds me of. I wonder if that...
Yeah. Last one. Last butterfly.
This is where we got our paper pouncers. We got them from May Made It. They're Picket Fence Studios bright rainbow paper pouncers. And Missy's using it with paint instead of the little ink things. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Same
this side.
package and everything. Yeah, Missy just is using the ones that are in the white thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the color-coded set.
Mm-mm.
Which the color-coded set is just the same thing. It's just a paper pouncer.
I'm going to dry it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Tina said you get 1,000 stars, 1,000 gold stars for your determination. Margie said, way to go, Missy. Tina said, looks great.
Thank you.
Indiana Jones said, looks fantastic. I love it. Margie said, looks beautiful. And Carol's reminding everybody that May May is having a sale this weekend.
Yes. Yes.
And she also said that turned out nice, and she admires your determination.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was looking for, was that right there. That's how I wanted it.
So, yeah.
That's what it took so long to get. I was looking for. I'm going to do it on the other side, too. Maybe not right now. But that's what I was looking for.
Nancy said, oh, man, I'm late. We'll catch the beginning on replay.
Oh, you didn't miss out on anything.
Just a lot of messing up.
Just a lot of messing up. I like that, though. I think that's pretty. I like it. I keep forgetting that my handle is in here, so I wouldn't lose it. I like it. I'm going to stand back and look at it. I like it. This is what I want to work on next. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of a second coat on the front of this drawer. And then while that's drying, we will...
Nancy said, that's what I love about lives. They are real life.
That's real life. That's what I would have done in person.
She said, I mess a lot up on lives too. It's just what reality is.
It is.
That's what I say.
I mean...
There ain't no big deal to mess up. And it helps teach others what not to do as well.
If you never saw how hard it was to do something, then everything would look easy, and then everybody would just be like, oh, I can do that too. I can do that too. Because which, you can, but just you might struggle for a minute with it. And that's exactly what I did on that one. When
I used to build furniture, I would hear that all the time. I could do that. I could do that. And I would be like, I would say stuff like, but will you? Are you sure that you can? Do you have the tools to do it? It's like, I could do that. And I'm a guy that says I can do that. And
we're DIY.
And then I will figure out exactly how to do it. It's like when I made those benches we had an in-store class on painting benches. Well, Missy had me make a bunch of those benches. I had this great idea that I would use dowel construction for every bench. Well, after I got done with the first bench, I realized that to mass produce these benches, dowel construction is not going to work. I'm going to have to use pocket holes mixed with dowels to make the process faster. Because, I could do it, but I was having to build 10 of these things in 3 days. And they were pretty complex. They had a lot of jigsaw cuts. They were nice.
They're nice.
That class
benches.
ended up being pretty fun, too.
It was.
I had 3 days not only to get them built, but to get them primed, to get them sealed up, and have them ready for that in-person class. Tina said, crafters never give up.
Never.
Kat said, but will you is such a great response. Nancy said, I used to do lots of recorded videos. I had to condense a 4 to 5 hour project into 20 minutes. And people thought it was easy and didn't know why I priced my items so high.
That's true.
That is so true, Nancy. That is so
true.
Like, Missy's still not done with that blue table. The blue table that she painted and put the big old piece of rice paper on top of it, she's still not done with that. We're looking at over 12 solid hours of work just to get the piece to where it is right now.
Even this table, like, even though, like, even if I got it all the way painted and stamped on both sides and decoupage, it's still not done.
Yeah, because she's still going to put a drawer liner in.
Yeah, you still got a lot of more.
She's going to...
Like, I'll do the drawer and then sealing it all up.
She's going to clear coat it, then she'll turn around and put wax over the top of the clear coat to make it buttery smooth.
So it's just a process. Everything's a process. And I'm not fixing to struggle with that one.
And you look at some of the work, some
of these furniture pieces, like the artists are just, I mean, they're like amazing furniture artists out there. And it's really cool what they do. But gosh, they put a lot of time and product and energy into it.
And like you said, like Nancy pointed out, they'll condense all that into a 20-minute
video, and you think that it's so easy.
And then you look at it and you go, there's no way that only took 20 minutes, because we know from experience, some of the, like an ombre paint job on a piece of furniture, done right with a smoky effect and everything, that could take you 3 or 4 days, just the paint job. And then you start talking about gilding, like gold gilding something with gold leaf. Like this right here. That's 2 days of gold gilding of me doing it by hand. And that's using gilding foil. 22 karat gold sheet gilding foil. Tina Adams said, too many people think, oh, it's homemade. Why are you charging so much? They have no idea how much time goes into something. Or the cost, you know. Let's say you go and you buy an $80 saw blade and you got to cut. You got to make 200 cuts. You're only going to have about 100 cuts, maybe 200 left out of that saw blade, and then you're going to have to spend another $80 and get a new saw blade.
I just went over it with a sand and sponge to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and that I knocked off anything that could be sticking up on it.
Tina Montville said, look how long it takes for you to do your decoupage paper. It is not an easy process.
No. You're
right. Yesterday alone, I spent 6 hours refining the designs, only to find out after I printed them that it was, I saved the stupid file as a JPEG instead of a PNG. So it kind of messed me up big time. So I have to go back in this afternoon and remove the white background, because the printer's attempting to print that white background as an off-white color. You couldn't see it on the video, but I can see it in person. Actually, I'll show you right here.
This is where I want to put my decoupage paper.
Let's see if you can see it right there. See how it's printing that off-white background back there? That's because when I was using Rebel Studio,
that flower too.
I upgraded to Rebel 7, by the way. It's way more responsive with your tablet. When I was using Rebel, I used a simulated paper texture background, so it would make the watercolor look better. And so when I saved it as a JPEG, it kept that background, so now I'm having to remove that out, and that's a manual process. Sorry.
You're good. So this is the decoupage paper or fiber paper that I'm wanting to put on here, and I like that it has the script, and I like these like florals, and it looks really good with the sandbar. So I'm only wanting to put it in this line right here, and then my handle will go right here. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want it to go. So what I'm going to do is just cut. I'm going to cut this square out right here. Let's see if I can do this.
Nancy said, I wish you were closer. That gray piece on the right would be great in my craft space. That, Nancy, is a pie safe. And it's not a vintage pie safe. Well, I guess it could be because it's from the 80s or possibly the early 90s, you know, when raw, unfinished furniture was like the big thing.
Right.
And all they did was stain it with some, I think it was American walnut, which is lighter brown. And then Missy she put a coat of primer on there. Yeah. And then she tested a green paint across the top lid right there, as you can see.
I was trying to decide if that was the color that I was wanting to go with.
Because that's going to be a neat one. We're going to record that whole process because Missy's going to be doing it's going to be a pre-recorded video.
I want to stencil it.
Missy, what's the name of that paper again? Enchanted?
Oh, this one is called Enchanted Romance. Yeah, it comes with 3 different papers.
We just got it. I haven't got it loaded online yet, but I will get it online within this day. I'll get it on there today since she used it today. And there was something else I needed to add. Oh, the stamps.
The stamps.
I still haven't added the stamps.
Okay, so I'm going to set this paper over here.
Margie said, I have a pie safe with 10 panels. This one doesn't.
This one doesn't have 10 panels.
A hardware cloth.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know what hardware cloth is, it's a metal, it looks like rabbit cage material.
Yeah.
And it looks, I don't know, it's a grid. And they're using what's called 1/4 inch mesh on the front of it. It's actually really neat.
I like this right here. Okay. So, I'm going to lay this back down because it's going to be easier to work up than it is going to be working sideways. Get out of my way, paint. Oh. Yeah.
That was a little rough.
Yeah. It's okay. That is okay. I'll let you figure out, yeah. If I need to move it down, I can.
No, you should be fine right there. That's as far out as I can get it. Honestly. I'll try to zoom this camera in.
I can move it if you want me to, for sure. Like, I can move the thing further down the table.
Well, it's really about the distance, not about that. The distance from the camera, since it's a webcam.
This is where I want it to go. Like that. This paper does have script in it, so you kind of want to make sure that your words aren't going
Margie said
backwards.
That it can hurt you where the holes are poked through on the tin ones.
Oh yeah, yeah. I bet so.
Because I was thinking about replacing that. Let me see if that's better.
Go ahead.
I was thinking about replacing the hardware cloth with 10 panels, and I was gonna make my own using ceiling tiles. But then I got to thinking about how they made them. They just die cut them, which essentially I would do the same thing with a drill, drilling holes in them. But I was like, that could probably hurt somebody. Yeah, it's a good angle.
Is that a good angle?
Yep.
Okay, so normally I would tell you to do white because this is so light and it blends in really good with the paper. I'm okay with it being the natural sandbar. Sandbar's not dark enough. I'm also going to use the Art Basics Soft Matte Gel to put this piece of paper on this. You can use Mod Podge if you want to, and you can also use Clear Coat if you want to. I'm just going to use this one. I like the gel for this, the fiber paper, because it's workable. And I like being able to see, and I like being able to control where it's going. But like I said, you can use...
I just posted a link for the gel.
Yeah, you can use Mod Podge, you can use Dixie Belle's Clear Coat.
The problem with the clear coat as opposed to the gel or Mod Podge is it dries faster, so you have less working time.
You have less working time, right. So if you did use the clear coat, because it's what you have on hand, just work in smaller sections. That's all you gotta do, just work in smaller sections. I like this because it's matte and it stays matte, where Mod Podge gives you kind of a different sheen. That's my beef with Mod Podge on furniture, is the sheen. Like I said, make sure your script is in the right direction. I'm gonna take this here.
Make sure your script is in the right direction.
Right?
That's good advice.
Yeah. Make sure. There we go. So I'm just going to use my hand. If you have a piece of plastic or something, you can use that, but I'm just gently going with my hand. It's a small enough area that it's not... It's just different because it's a smaller area versus if it was a big top or something like that. Just gonna make sure that I get this in here good.
I'm posting a link to Little Treasures by Nancy, guys, and to Crafting with Indiana Jones's channels. Indiana Jones does some really amazing stuff, and so does Nancy.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, check them out.
Then I'm just gonna come through with my...
Because I think like Indiana just did a Bridgerton. I'm pretty sure it was Bridgerton.
I'm just gonna do my second coat
style
on top of this, so that way it can be nice and...
Let me check. Yeah.
Glued down.
Bridgerton inspired DIY. That's what I was thinking. Because she did something too with some air dry clay one time that was really, really cool.
So I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to put this in the sink.
Nancy said, I used to live close to Annie. We met up a couple times. Love her.
Awesome. That's really awesome.
I forgot how I found Annie's channel. I was looking at, it was a video. What video was it? I found Nancy because I was looking up amigurumis, and she was making a bunch of them.
I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to wish that it was sharper than what it was. But I'm just going to run it across the crease. I would normally say let it dry and then sand it off, but in this kind of area, it's not really possible. And if you did get any of the decoupage gel up on this lip, once it dries, it's on there. So, and if you didn't want it on there, then it'll be on there. So I'm just going over it with my X-Acto knife and gently pulling it away while it is still workable, because I use the matte gel. So that way it does have a clean line. But like I said, my blade is kind of dull. So I'm just going to be patient.
Karen said, that's the problem with my X-Acto knives. They're not sharp enough.
They're not sharp, and mine's not either. And I'm like, I need to get a new blade. But because the paper is wet, where I put it a coat on the bottom and a coat on the top, and this fiber paper is it is workable. It's tough, I'm able to just go over it a couple of times and kind of get the cut that I'm looking for. But yeah, X-Acto knife blades are definitely on my list.
And guys, I included a link up there for the program that I use to paint the watercolors.
There we go.
If you visit their website, you can go to try, and you can like try it live on their website in the browser to see how it works. And it does really good with oils too. So watercolor's not the only thing it's good at. But I like the watercolor effect that it's able to do.
So as always, you could have cut this to exact measurements, but that would be too easy, right? Wouldn't that be too easy?
Yeah.
To cut it exact.
Easy.
It would be too easy if I had a
sharp knife?
Yeah, a sharp X-Acto knife.
Or one of those roller razors that we keep saying we're going to get, but we never do.
Yeah. Hush. Cammy.
Somebody's here.
Cammy. It's for you. Cammy, hush. I know exactly who's here because I'm pretty sure that's who was calling my phone earlier. It was our monthly pest control mosquito guy that comes through, but he had to cancel on us a week or so ago, and then I completely forgot about it. And then while we were live, I was getting a phone call, and I was like, it's two things. It's either going to be the pest control or spam, and based off my driveway, it is the pest control guy. So that's where we are. A studio would be great. A sharp X-Acto knife would be great. But I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be thankful for what I got and use what I've been blessed with. Right? Right. And I'm going to cut this off. And then I'm going to push this back down. And then I'm going to kind of give y'all a gist of what I've got going on. And I do not know what you're saying because I don't have a screen in front of me. Well, then we're good. So I'm just going to keep on cutting this away. The couple of things I was thinking about doing with this, as far as finishing it up, is one, I would like to add just a little bit of dark brown wax, just to give it a little bit of shadowing. There's lines here and here. I think that using brown wax in those areas will definitely highlight those and give it more, let the texture of everything, the details of everything stand out. So that is one thing I want to do with this table. And then the handles are like a brass. I would like to try to clean them up just to see how they look. But if all else, I will always go over them with like gilding wax just to give it a little bit of gold. Because I think it'll tie everything in together. I think it'll look pretty. They're not anything fancy, but they're still really good. And they are the original handles to this, so why not? Why not use what we have already? And this wasn't a bad table, but it wasn't it was by far from perfect. So after Rodney did the work that he did to it, and then I was able to prime it, it looks much better. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody said anything.
Nancy said Annie is the one who gave me the room box and appliances for my miniature kitchen for my birthday 2 years ago.
Ooh.
That's actually an awesome gift.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nancy said it would definitely give it dimension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Annie Jones said it's not. She said that is nice. That is looking fantastic. Sorry, I was out there dealing with the whatchamacallem. What am I trying to say?
The pest control guy.
Mosquito treatment.
Yeah.
They're gonna mosquito treat the vegetation, and they have to come more often than a regular guy does because they use the green, the family pet safe chemicals. It actually smells like citronella mixed with grapefruit is what it smells like after he sprays. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So if you live in Alabama, I recommend Northwest Exterminating. Their products are really good.
They are good. They are. Okay.
Usually it's Rob that comes, but today it's Calden.
I'm just going to add a little bit more of the gel, especially right here, because this is where it was harder to get to lay down with the raw edges. So I just want to make sure that it is all the way glued.
All the way
this
glued.
one is probably a time-consuming piece. I probably thought this was going to be easier. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not going to complain.
It would do you no good,
It
too.
wouldn't do me no good.
Because,
It wouldn't do me no good.
you know, stuff like that's always time consuming if you think about it.
Yeah. This is probably why I struggle doing furniture videos, because it's a bunch of this sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So
Because I have to edit that out.
Yeah. It's a bunch of the tedious work that's kind of hard, number one, to capture, but...
And then Missy doesn't like doing voiceovers. So it would be hard to talk about this anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm having to cut this with an X-Acto knife.
That's what I did.
So a lot of times, if y'all watch any of our older furniture videos, some of them I actually voiced over because Missy just didn't have time to do it because she was having to go to the store. She just didn't actually want to do it at all because she doesn't like the voiceovers. So there's a couple where I actually voiced over her stuff where I'm like, she did this and she did this. And then we got better at it by stopping during the recording process. And then Missy would talk about the thing that she's fixing to do and then offer some tips. And over time, I guess we're getting better at it. I got to get better at editing the videos. I know that.
I think that looks pretty. I feel like that was worth all the
Switching
work
to
that I
main
just
camera.
did.
Let's zoom that in. I can't believe this remote works while it's plugged into the computer. That's so amazing.
I feel like that
that looks really good.
The work that I just did.
Nancy said, I don't like doing voiceovers, but with Earl working from home, I can't talk as I craft.
Yeah. So once this is completely dry, I'll take and cut the holes out where my handles go. And then there's my, let me protect my scissors. Please
put them
protect
cutter
my
bees
scissors.
back in the case.
Yeah, protect my scissors.
Oh, we're getting a lot of notifications today.
And this is my butterflies on this side. So like I definitely would like to take some darker wax and just accent around right here and then catch these lines and then the details in the legs right here. I definitely think that the dark wax will look good in those areas.
And around that trim right there on the front of the drawer.
Yeah, so if you decide to dark wax, you definitely want to put a clear wax on it first. So that way you can control. You want to be able to control your dark wax. So you want to put your clear wax on first and then work your dark wax into it.
You can also use your clear wax to get your dark wax back off.
Yes, so if you immediately go in with the dark wax and then it's too dark, if you immediately go in with your dark wax, there's nothing for your paint's just going to absorb the dark wax right off the bat. It's not going to, it's just going to want to grab it. It's going to change the color and you're not going to be able to work it off as much as you want to. So what you want to do is you want to come in with your clear wax, and this is white, but it's actually clear. It just looks, that's how it is. And you want to go in and make sure that you seal up your paint with your dark wax, your clear wax.
Margie said it's going to be really beautiful. Great job, Missy. Susie said it's gorgeous. Nancy said, I love butterflies. I added some mini ones in my miniature garden this past Tuesday. A friend made them for me. They are less than 1/8 inch in size.
Wow.
1/8 inch. That is tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah. You can see where your wax is.
What is this red spot on my face?
Then,
do you see it? What is that?
I don't know. Then you want to just take off your excess clear. Yep. Then you want to work your brown wax in. So I'm just going to use this brush.
And with brown wax, very little goes a very long way.
I like to put some on my brush and then kind of use my lid to wipe off. And then I'm just going to put it in those details. And then I take it and wipe off the excess.
And see how it just sticks in that crack, in the crevice. And that's how she gets that unique look.
And then I just, that's the importance of the clear wax before your black or brown wax, anything like that. It allows you to work. But now you can see that line in the table. Do I have it at the right angle to see that?
Yeah, I zoomed it in.
Yeah. And the more you buff off, the more you wipe, the more you'll buff off, and then you'll want to let that dry. So like when I go to do the corners here, I'll fill this whole area up in clear wax, and then I'll put my brown wax here and here, and it'll just shadow. But if you're wanting it to kind of shadow a little bit further down, you can kind of just put it on there and then let it sit and then buff. The longer you let it sit, it starts drying, and then it's,
Yeah, then it becomes almost impossible to get off.
Yeah, so that's you just want to let it sit and let it work. But if you're just trying to get it in here and not wipe it off and not change the color of the outside, you just put it in there and then you just wipe it back off. And that's how I plan on finishing up this whole entire table. And then I want to do that around the drawer too, because the drawer has lines right here. Obviously you want to let this all the way dry up. But all of these lines that are on this table, I definitely want to bring them out so that way you can see them with all of its glory.
Yep. And the waxing part, she made it look easy right there on that one part because she's only working with that. But once she starts trying to shadow around the where the butterflies are,
yeah,
and doing the top, that is going to be very time consuming.
It's a little, yeah. You want to be when you sit down to wax, you want to be able to sit down and wax.
Carol said that's stunning.
Yeah. So you kind of get the idea of where I was going with this table, the vision that I had with it.
What color is the handle going to be?
I told him earlier that it's like a brass knob. I was going to see how it cleaned up, and if it didn't clean up well, and I didn't like it with this colors, I was going to go over it with some gilding wax. Just a little bit of gold doesn't hurt. Just fancy up my table a little bit.
Yeah, and the better we get with gilding foil, we might start using it more often.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do another application on that mirror that I showed y'all earlier.
But that's my table at its moment.
That's it?
That's my table at this moment, yeah.
All right, we'll step closer this way so I can see you. There you go.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for watching me struggle today. It's always fun.
Well, you can't accomplish anything without a struggle.
That's right. That's right.
What's it say? We were just talking about it.
Count it all joy?
Yeah, count it all joy. James said it.
Count it all joy. That's right. Well, we'll see you guys Tuesday. We'll be back Tuesday.
Yep.
Right? We'll be back Tuesday. We'll see you guys Tuesday. I hope y'all have a great Memorial weekend. The store will be closed Monday.
Yep. For
Memorial Day. And we will see you guys Tuesday.
Yep. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Y'all have a wonderful day. Oh, show them the decoupage paper one more time for those who missed it. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I just totally forgot about it.
Yeah. I'm going to work on these, though, on a project.
Bring it up higher. There you go.
It's good. Strawberries.
Blackberries.
Blackberries. Lemons and limes. Red striped paper. Blue. And then green. So you get 6 papers this month.
Yep.
So, yep. I'll be working on a video with these very soon. Very, very soon.
All right, guys, that's it. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. If you're going to be in a weather zone, stay weather aware. And if you're in the South, make sure you stay hydrated because it's going to be super hot this weekend.
Yep.
You got anything else?
That's it. I hope y'all have a great weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.